Well, hello there. Welcome back. I hope it is a back and not no, I don't hope that. I hope a lot of you guys are here for your very first time. I'm Hambbage, by the way, and I am delighted to have you guys here hanging out for yet another hardcore vanilla Minecraft play session. So thanks so much for tuning in. Let's go ahead and stop yakking. Well, we are always yakking, but we're gonna be playing while we're yakking this time. For anybody who is not a new arrival, man, I hope you enjoyed that last video. I'm still not sure if I enjoyed it or was terrified by it. Man, it really felt like we were losing ground there for a while. I just couldn't get a handle on all those vexes, and I couldn't get shots at the evokers to slow them down at all. So it was pretty hairy there for a bit, but we survived. We didn't even have to use our enchanted golden apple, and I don't know, the use scenario there that I can think of. Well, let's recap real quick from the end of the last episode. First off, I believe, and I haven't looked yet. Obviously, I don't. Whoa, game's like, man, we just opened. What are you doing? It isn't. It isn't. Now I'm still not sure. I had pulled up my list. Maybe I've got it here still. Of course, I've scrolled off. You guys can't see it here. So I'd marked zombie villager, thinking that maybe it was it. Oh, it's a zoglin that we haven't done, and I think you have to pull piglins into the overworld. Is that what it is to get them to zoglonify? Maybe that's it. That's the one that I'm not thinking of. So Zoglin is the other, in addition to Endermite and the two Guardians. Those will be our four. We are going to have to deal not so much with that. That wasn't the big problem. And really, this one didn't become either. But this hole is potentially big trouble on getting the mobs. If they go in there, in theory, to finish a raid wave, we might have to chase them down. But all that's for another time. Now we can wait another 150 episodes or so. And honestly, I may be ready by then, but I don't know, man. That was brutal, brutal stuff. Fighting those guys. But I think we've reached a point where we're doing pretty well. We've kind of cycled back, and aside from the abhorrent little square block box that we dumped those villagers into, which at least had two different colors and a little pattern to it's time to start thinking about dusting off our building shoes and trying to reanimate a bit of that part of the game. We've long neglected our base and need to get back to it. And it's somewhat unapologetically. We're having too much fun pulling stuff into the 117 side of things, going back and forth over there. But I really think my initial play style, I don't want to change it. It works very well for me. And for those of you guys that have already heard me describe it, I apologize for the repeat. But for anyone who hasn't, I'll go back. I don't know how long ago it was the last time I kind of reiterated this, but there are a lot of people out there, if you talk to them, especially if you're my age, and anybody that's kind of outside of even a high school type level where maybe you're still playing some mini games and stuff or joining servers. If you tell anybody, hey, I play Minecraft as an adult, they're like, what are you doing, man? I used to play that. I get so bored with it. Why do you still still play that game. And anybody that says they get bored of it, I can guess at a couple different things in their play style that factor into that. The first is that if they do play hardcore, which I recommend, and not many people do, relatively, there's relatively a lot of hardcore content, or at least a lot of started hardcore series, and that's because people like the clout of it. Hey, I'm a hardcore Minecraft player. It sounds good. It sounds like you're elite upper edge stuff, but it's a different kind of game than just playing playing on a server where everything gets reset and you start over. You have to learn, and I'd mentioned in one of the previous videos, having a thick skin as a content creator, and in that regard, being able to take some criticism, being able to be laughed at, laugh at yourself, and not feel like that's the end of the world if something like that happens. Those are all important skills to have, but that also applies just in playing hardcore Minecraft. You have to understand going in, you're going to lose worlds, and you're going to put in a lot of effort, do a lot of stuff to make something that you grow attached to, and it can all go away way too fast. And it's just the truth of the game. And once you've gotten used to that, once you've lost a couple deep worlds, and you're like, how am I ever going to get back to that point? And then you haven't just been told, you've actually experienced the part where you then go back and reset to the beginning and go, whoa, I forgot how much fun that is. That's eye-opening, and it's like, oh, hardcore really does have something that the other games don't have. So that's one part, is playing hardcore in and of itself adds life and replayability to the game without getting bored, because you're going to be fighting through. Now, the flip side of that is it can also be incredibly frustrating if you're getting to about the same point repeatedly and dying, and you can't get past whatever the hurdle may be. Maybe it's the Ender Dragon. Maybe it's going into the Nether. Whatever the case may be, whatever is taking your worlds, that can be tough. Every time I go through the same steps to get ready to play this game, and then before I know it, my world's gone. That can be tough. But again, that's having that strength of will that I'm gonna get good at this. I understand it's a learning process, and I just need to keep playing. What's the old Finding Nemo, keep on swimming kind of deal? You just, eating an elephant, or any of those analogies, you just got to keep doing it one step at a time, and understand that you're gonna be bad when you start, and you're gonna get better. But as in anything, you don't learn how to hit a home run in baseball by stepping up and swinging your first time and going, oh, yep, that's what it was. You learn by striking out a whole lot and fouling a whole lot, and, being too early or too late on your swing until you get the feel for what's the timing that I need to use consistently, and then fail at it so many times that your muscles know what to do correctly without having to think about it. Only then do you start going, yeah, I know how to hit these home runs. You can step up with a little bit of confidence. Same deal. So that's all long stuff. But the other reasons that you get bored, particularly if you don't ever want to risk losing, right? If you're going to play at normal difficulty in survival mode and have spare gear and all that, and be ready to re-gear up every time that you die, then you're going to understand that the boredom comes from you've worked yourself out of the challenge of the game. You just are playing constantly over-equipped for the challenge that's built into the game, And of course it's going to get boring. The killing the dragon 17 times gets old if there isn't a purpose to it. So those things all come into play too. Um, and likewise, if you're a builder, so many builders, um, and I'm talking about the ones that have made a few bases or buildings or whatever, and then are like, man, that's dumb. I can totally build. There are people that build in all levels of difficulty and do amazing things. And if you're approaching it as this is my art, or this is the canvas I want to use to create some art, how far you want to go in calling a Minecraft structure, whatever it may be, as art is up to you. But I think it's valid, and so I'm not saying that for people that are truly content to use this game as that bridge, but people that are trying to have the Minecraft experience and a world and build with it. The people that then get bored, I think a lot of times look at what you're doing to supposedly make the game easy or fun, whether it's using cheat commands to bring in blocks or any of that, when you don't have to go gathering the materials. In hardcore, you're stuck. You have to. But if you have survival mode, so hey, I'm not in creative. I'm building up, but then off, whether you're recording and you're off camera, or whether you're just playing on your own, and you're then loading in the content. Yeah, of course that's going to get boring, because you're basically at that point building in creative mode. And if you're playing the game for adventure's sake, but you're bringing in all the materials, then you're losing the exposure, um, the grind of just building or gathering, sandstone for this base, any of those kind of things that balances out. So I'm a little bit distracting myself here. We need this box, and we can keep talking here. I got one other thing I wanted to talk about as well, but I want to get this going. And let's do. Well, maybe we can get them all. How many does that leave? Yeah, that's fine. We may use them all here. So the way that I approach the game is to balance it out. And when I was first recording, and this is kind of how I played it, but it gets less structured in that way. Then it's kind of in terms of projects. But for videos, both for the audience's sake, because I know Let's Plays where you're showing all the content, that can get tedious too. I'm not snipping up the video, so I'm not saying, hey, I'm gonna go get 4 shulker loads of sand. I'll be back when I have those. See you later. Hey, let's go get some sand. Come along, and we'll see what we do while we do it. This one before it despawns. I hope you all saw what I did there. So yeah, I break it down into kind of three sectors of the game. One being kind of adventure, we'll loosely call it, and that's the advancements and content. Seeking out the various things that we haven't already done. So I call that kind of the adventure side of things. The second is gathering and exploration, and that's where, in pursuit of materials, because we are playing hardcore, we have to go get whatever we need. You have to go explore your world. You have to learn where the spots are that you can get gravel or jungle wood or any of those kind of things. So that's another one. And then the third is building. And when we've come back with a bunch of materials, we can turn those into beautiful things and we can improve our world. To that end, the only other thing that I'll add is I do not, in case anybody hasn't noticed, I don't overly go in for Look how close we are already. That's good. I love nether quartz for that. I don't overly go in for automation of machines. And the later the world gets, the more I may do that. Like I have a darkroom spawner. I'm not opposed. And, some of the building or the ovens and things here, I'm using hoppers to feed and sort of, partially automate. But I think a lot of people struggle with the comparison to full-time streamers or content creators who are trying to keep an audience entertained for hours a day, every day, and their own world. So you see some of the big, a Philza or some of those that have big ongoing worlds, and they're basically just trying to facilitate their chat and the audience and having them in there. And when you have a critical mass, I talk about wanting to have a community. This goes a little bit further than it. When you reach a critical mass in a chat, the chat kind of starts doing your job for you, right? Everybody, I feel it too when I'm in there, and I'm a middle-aged guy. I'm well beyond the kind of meme, oh yeah, you're just a Twitch chatter kind of deal. But you do feel I want to put something in the chat that's noteworthy enough that the content creator is going to notice it and read it, get a chuckle, or think that's a good idea or whatever. We all want that, but that does perpetuate, and it's constantly providing sources of ideas. Okay, we finally got all of our gear repaired, and we were close. I think helmet and pants or something. We're down into the red, so you're dangerously close, even more than losing the world. Can you imagine having to? It would be relatively easy, but having to start over and build up some new armor or whatever. Not to mention, we really likely wouldn't have survived if we'd lost any of our pieces of armor to those vexes. They would have started hitting super hard. So, good thing all around we got out of that. But yeah, chats will keep live streams fresh through a big grind. If you're playing your own world, you aren't gonna have that diversion. So just deciding, hey, all my favorite content creators dig holes to bedrock that are the size of of a chunk to make a mob spawner, and you may decide I want to do that. It's going to be a ton of clout. It kind of is counterintuitive, but that's not going to help you build. Well, hello, Spidey. For anybody who isn't aware, the trick. He spawned on top of this row of nether quartz blocks, and being in the middle between the torches, this is about as far as I want to go for the light level. And so when it sits here and then it goes up one, it gets even less light than the block below, so that can break the threshold and allow mobs to spawn in an otherwise safe area. Anyway, yeah, just doing big grinds that you've seen on and thinking that's going to cure boredom in the game. Actually, the opposite. That's going to wear you out because you're going to be like, oh man, do I have to go? And you're not going to get the enthusiasm of having finished. I mean, some people do, right? You may be the person that just absolutely loves a grind like that and wants to have something that's mindless and repetitive. And I'm not saying that badly, like me, you enjoy having a game to have on. For me, it's watching NFL football games, right? I love football. I really enjoy it. But if I'm at home watching to, keep up with opponents of my favorite teams and some of that kind of stuff, I don't want to sit through every commercial and every timeout and all that kind of stuff just waiting for the next play. I crave some deeper form of entertainment as I'm going along there. So I can completely relate to, and that's a lot of times when I'll make basement rooms and that kind of stuff. While I'm playing a game and working, that's when I'll seek out the grind or go gather some resources. So it's been interesting doing that here. The obsidian mine the other day when I left a slide up in front. Oh man, now I should check because I'm gonna be paranoid. Okay, nothing else on. I have a feeling I'll do pretty well for the next, I don't know, few weeks until I forget again. But yeah, it's one of those things where I find I have to balance different aspects within the game. But when you do that, when you seek out that variety even within the game, you really find the replayability or just the endless playability within a world until you lose it. It's so deep. And at one point I was talking the kind of spitballing. If I was an astronaut that was on the way to Mars or at some far off planet, and it's like, hey, yeah, you're going to be stuck in a spaceship for a while. What do you want to bring as your limited amount of entertainment? Assuming hey, you're definitely going to have a computer to help with your job and all that. Well, I want mine loaded up with Minecraft because I think I could spend a lot of hours each day finding a variety of different things to do in the game without getting too fed up or too bored. I mean, I have for years going forward, and I haven't played it quite this clip or with this regularity, but having the chat and hey, what am I going to talk about in this episode? Those are good ways to keep it fresh or keep your mind occupied when you're doing, how many endless times, if you think of this world alone, to repair gear, but then all the other Minecraft games, how many times have I broken blocks for XP? There's been quite a few of them, but being able to go through and talk about why, thinking and sharing why this game remains fresh to me, totally diverse. I'm not really paying attention to what's going on here. That's why I have to remind myself to check the shovel. How healthy is the shovel? That kind of stuff as I go. But I hope that makes sense for people. So that's the tangent, and that's where I recommend to others. Even with 17 here, it's exciting. It's so much fun to go see all the new stuff, but don't feel like, oh, I've got to get to it all right now. If I don't, everybody else is going to blow by me. It's why I was talking before 17 came out. I was sharing, I'm actively avoiding content creators that are doing stuff in 17 in the snapshots because I don't want it spoiled. I don't want to, first watch people do everything that I'm going to discover. And you guys saw it. There was a lot of various misconceptions and mistakes and things that I was making as I played because I hadn't gone out and tried to learn all there was to know. It's much more fun to learn by trying and failing than just to be hand-held and spoon-fed how to play the game. So that's another way to keep it fresh, and for the people that wonder why they may be getting tired of it or why it may seem stale. Well, is it by any chance stuff that you're inadvertently doing to have kind of already saturated yourself with all the game has to offer before you ever open it up and start playing with it? And again, I'm not trying to ruffle feathers. If that's the way you play, I get it, and more power to. I just want to caution people that can be a reason why it starts to feel a little more tired as you're playing along. Okay, so we've done a bunch here. I'm not trying to particularly use this quartz. I just want to have it ready to go for the XP like we just did. I mean, we used it, but it was a good thing we'd saved it up, right? Now no, we're not going through. So we're going to pick these up, save them for the next time. We'll put our fortune pick away, and we'll be back at it. The other thing that I had meant to talk about in the boat ride in the last one, and again, for folks that are coming in new, and I know we've had a nice little uptick recently, so thank you everybody that's helping spread the word or liking and commenting just so YouTube knows that, hey, yeah, this may be something we should tell other people about. For new folks coming in, I started about 2 months ago and have been having an absolute blast creating YouTube content. For myself as much as any others. As I said in the very first video, I have played hardcore for so long, and when you do, you're gonna lose worlds and experiences. And I don't save every world file. I don't save any world files that I've already played. They're done. When they're done, they're gone. And I got no qualms about that. But it's nice having this record. As I think about it, it's pretty cool to be able to think, hey, when I get done with this one, if we make this base huge and it's cool, and then I die, I wonder about it, I can just say, hey, yeah, go check this one out. This is a world where I built a base that went, all the way to being this, and you can still check it out. It can live on. So that's a good feeling, I think, to have coming out. But the other piece of my reasoning here was that I wanted to kind of connect with other hardcore, anybody cool, really. We're all social people. We want to make friends, and I've certainly been exposed just through comments and things to a bunch of, no offense to any of you that may be watching, but smaller sized audience content creators that I hadn't previously been aware of, either that are fans of similar content that I'd been in, or search similarly to me, and now that I'm out there, they can discover my content just as I can discover theirs, either through a comment, or as I've been reaching out, trying to focus on finding some lower viewer counts, lower subscriptions, and some of that content creators. I'm going like, yeah, look at that. That's cool too. So awesome to have everybody out here. But a part of that is I really want to be able to do this in a live format as well. And I don't know that I don't know what that all will look like. I started with YouTube. Obviously, it's an easier barrier to entry, or access to entry. You don't have to wonder what's going on live. You don't have to manage a chat. You don't have to, any of that kind of stuff. Worry about your audio settings, or deal with just comments and all that kind of stuff. People that are just trying to get a rise out of you or laugh when they can make you stumble over stuff. So all that, it's nice to have it in YouTube where you can kind of control it a little bit to start. But that, playing and having that back and forth with the chat, I'm shaking here as I'm like, yeah, that's what I mean. That's all stuff I would love to do. I'd love to, envision that others are playing at the same time, or have played, have a wealth of experience, and together we're all bigger and better than we would be individually. Go from there. Ironically, no, because we've used so much gold. I was gonna say maybe apples. I mean, we really should get more gold and apples. Maybe we should think about That didn't go very far at all, did it? Maybe we should think about some nether. I don't want to die. To go down and see if we can get some nether gold. Hmm. We need a lot more supplies. We still need a bunch of coal as well. How are we doing on time here? I didn't even look the last time we... 30 minutes. Let's... Whoa, no, 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 no. I almost closed out the window, the recording window. Yeah. Um, we're going to do two things. We're going to go through to our far end. And on the way, we're going to stop off at the dark room spawner and just check the coal levels in those ovens. I think we had topped those off as well, but I'm not certain, and I would love to get a feel for that. After I've just said, yeah, preserve all the content, what I'm thinking is we're going to go through the nether, see if we can spyglass. Yeah, these guys all need it. So we're going to go and see if we can get coal, maybe out of that sunken mine that we found in the ocean out by our 117 mine. I don't know. I don't think we had a whole lot left in our mine right under us, but there's a lot, caves and all the rest of that stuff out there. So with freshly loaded tools, we'll kind of spend this half hour getting back out with our spyglass ready so that if we see a ghast, we can get him locked in. And we've got all this elevated now. We should just be able to cruise. I think we got most of the base 3 wide on our last trip back. On the exposed parts, right? Not here, clearly. We'll see. Most of these that I've... Come on. Alright. I don't know why I put those polished blocks myself in the midst of the... or kind of where we turned on the way to our end portal. I don't know what too high is it. Let's do that. We can still dump trash. That slowed me down in anticipation that I was going to be crossing there. Alright, I don't think this is going to... keep a... Oh. There we go. Ha! Is it a balloon? It's a ghast, sillies. Alright, we got that. Hey, more advancements. Oh. Okay, not yet. Like I said, that little start isn't going to give us a ton of... we were doing so well, too. It's going to give us a ton of material to start with, but... relative to all this open space, but... I guess this is kind of dumb because we actually are going to want to figure out our styling. Stop. I think this is all the earlier coffee that I had. Now totally worn off. Oh, at least that gives us a little bit. Ooh, need all this. Now we'll take it. We've, it's certainly not wasted. Our beacons are a great use of gold that we've accumulated over the course of our world so far. But, first having done those and then depleted our apples so much recently, we just want to give ourselves a chance. So that is 5 high. I was like, do we need to go another layer? I don't think so. And just keep filling in these. I don't know if that makes a whole lot of difference one way or the other, but... Ah! Oh, he's still out there? Stop wrecking my tunnel, you jerk! Okay. I guess on the bright side, he did clear up some of the soul sand for us. I should have been thanking him. I was very rude. He was in his own ghasty kind of way, trying to be a friend and a buddy. I killed him. But he did slow us down. There we go. Alright, now I think this is all good. We got one misplaced here. And I don't think I will try to put an edge out here if I can avoid it. One thing is slow and it will just increase the amount of spawning possible time. Alright, these are 1 too low. For lavas, I know we're not quite in, we're now crossing over into their section. So yeah, anytime we get delayed, we give them more chance to spawn and come to us, right? As we zip through here, we don't have to deal with them quite as much. And, you know, they may see us and come back like that, but they're not going to catch up. So it's really just the ones right in front of us that we have to worry about. Oh, here's some area we never did get. See me just step off that edge? Terrible, I tell ya. See, there they come now. Doggy outside. Oh boy, I thought we were a lot further along on some of this. Oh, trouble now. Trouble. Get him. Whew. Man, we're not anywhere near as close as I thought we were going to be. Well, it's a good little half session here again. For me, nice calm down after the raid earlier. That was fun and awesome, but that is a big part of why I don't try to spread some of that out. You know, not do raid right into Dragonfight or something like that. It's just to keep them fresh and exciting when they do come along. So, and you know, it's hardcore, so you're always on, right? There's always that possibility that, you know, you're just doing something boring and otherwise on. Oh, that's a nice little find. And I think that's a fourth piece. I think we've got 3 waiting, so. No, I did grab that. Make sure the inventory is not full. Yeah, so. This is not... Oh, that helped, though. So that got us 1. Good. Nothing up higher. Alright, that's enough. Now we're getting back to some of the stuff we remembered, I think. Nice wide hallways. And this is the big stretch that eventually ends in the remnants, I think. There we go. Ooh. We're battle hardened now. And one of these times is going to be biting off more than we want to chew. I don't know how far up above we're opening to... Kind of seemed like that second one just dove in. It was like, goodbye, cruel world. I'm out. As long as we're here, let's just get this. Alright, there we go. That's... Oh, that just looks ugly. I don't think that one's hanging particularly low, but we're not going to leave a straggler. Alright, well that's the last big impediment to our speed. We got lots more to do up here, though. Can't believe we didn't have both sides of this done. Doesn't seem like running. Why am I not? I want a turbo mine here. There we go. Go back for another pass, get our warp speed taken care of. Good. So this isn't going to be perfect, but God, it's a big jump. I don't think we filled anything else, so let's just come back through here. Oh, I guess those are all full because we were picking up full stacks and completely stuffed. Cream I'm tempted to put away, but that was sort of still an accident, but a planned one. Every time I pick up those ender chests, I always feel I'm prone to breaking the block behind, so if you know it's likely, put it in front of a block you aren't going to want to have there, right? Alright, let's go on this side this time. We've done a bunch along here. I wasn't setting out to finish the whole job. Just make use of kind of this half episode. And hopefully, as you guys can see now, those transits of the open areas will be so much faster for being wide and being able to jump through, you know, without getting stopped at various little barriers. Oh, oh. Ah! Now I can't get... Dumb lava. Ah! Thought I was so set for that. Yeah, oh, okay. Just pull out the netherrack. We're all good. We've done this a million times. And then the next thing you know, it's pouring all over. All because I put the one right underneath the... Wow. I'm getting lazy or something here with the nether lava spread. We get it already. There's lava in the nether. And magma cubes. Not cubes, blocks. Alright, now we gotta go all the way back and clean up that lava. Okay. All right. Okay. Quite how I got a whole 2 blocks deep just in running my pick forward, but alright. Oh, I never got to the point of, you know, I was talking about like streaming, you know, I really wanted to have the live audience and all that. So recently I'd updated folks a little bit. One of the reasons why I haven't is I'm currently recording all these videos on a laptop. Minecraft is great for that. You don't need to have like the super deluxe graphics processing mega computer just to play Minecraft. So my laptop works really well. Has been pretty solid throughout all this. The biggest challenges I've run into is I had to use external drives to dump off backups of the uploaded videos, and you know that's anything you do. Videos are big files. You're gonna use a lot of space no matter what kind of a system you're on. So that that all worked out pretty well. But as the goof the other day shows, on a laptop, I'm pretty limited in only seeing the game screen while I'm playing here. My Minecraft is in full view. The OBS, which is freeware that I use for running those videos or recording the videos, is behind the window, right? It's just sitting in the background. So I have to pull it forward to see, and that's how I can have these mistakes that I've had. I don't have a real-time view of what is being seen. In order to do that, I have to, either pull up my inventory or pull the escape. Then I can look and see, okay, we're at 55 minutes. We're going to get hopefully just to the far end of this tunnel in our hour-long episode here. But it works well enough, as long as I don't goof and leave a slide up or a notepad or anything else, it works pretty darn well. There's plenty of resources in my laptop to play the game and manage the recording. Sometimes it says, you're not running in the highest possible band or resolution because of system resources, and that's fine. But usually that's when I'm uploading to YouTube at the same time, like I am for this video. So it can handle most things Minecrafty just fine. If I was trying to play like Call of Duty or something, I would be hopeless because my system would be like, no, your FPS and all that is going in the tank. We need those for the game, or vice versa, and then you just be on death loop. So it in part dictates a little bit of what game I play. Although this is one of this is my top game of all time. It has to be, right? There's nothing, and I think most people will. Some people just don't like Minecraft, right? And it's not their style. They don't want to play it. Fine, whatever. But for so many people, the reason why it's the top-selling game of all time is because it's so agreeable to so many people, and so popular. So yeah, for me, no question, top game would always be at the top of my list of, hey, what you play computer games? What do you like to play? And there's a short list after that is not let's not dive into that in this episode. We're wrapping up here. But it would, for the same reason, it would become a quick option for recording resource-wise. Well, anyway, I had an old PC, a tower. That's probably in the 3-year-old range. But honestly, like a year and a half ago or so, it started having issues. And I was getting error messages. Again, I don't need to rehash all the details, but back in like November, I took it into I walked into a PC shop in the middle of the pandemic, and I was like, hey, I got this old box. What would it take for you guys to take a look at it? And I think, maybe it's a power issue. It was giving me some errors or whatever, and boom, it's done. Well, guy told me, but I never got back to it in the midst of the pandemic and the holidays and everything. It just wasn't a top priority, and it hadn't been before that. And so it continued to sit until right after I got back from vacation. That was when I told the story. I was returning my rental car. I was like, you know what? I'm going right there. I'm going to take this in now. And so he's been working on it, looking at it over the last few days, and I've gotten a couple updates along the way. One saying, yeah, don't think it's the power supply. We can get power to it, and it's not working, but the error, deeper analysis of the errors and everything says that's not the problem. So he'd done more testing and worked through more stuff, and came to the conclusion it was probably the motherboard, that needed to be done, by process of elimination, which is what system troubleshooting really usually comes down to. You just eliminate. You take the information the system is getting you, or the circumstances of what you're looking at, whatever the problem is, and then you start eliminating possible sources. And when you're certain that whatever you're looking at can't be the cause, then you can move on to the next. And that's why senior system administrators are more in demand, or eventually get the higher pay and that kind of stuff than junior ones, because it takes experience. There's no replacement for having gone through those processes, and that's the problem solving puzzle type situation that some people absolutely love about system administration. And I do. I have not on Windows boxes, but I have been an SA and have worked system support before, and I love it. More on big integrated system kind of stuff, and with multiple players is really what I've been doing most recently in a corporate setting. So that aspect never goes away for me. I really enjoy the, hey, what's going on? But you gotta have a process, and you've got to work it through, and you can't skip steps, otherwise you get burned. That's how it goes. So he's been working a process on my old PC, and every couple of days I get a call with an update. So I'd gotten one. He said, "Man, I'm sorry, it's not graphics card or CPU as I'd kind of thought. It looks like it's going to be the board." Okay. That makes sense. And I kind of asked him about price. He's like, "Oh, well, it's probably going to be about this." And I was like, "Well, where, how far are we in?" He's like, "Oh, we're still at he has a flat $70 or whatever for diagnostic work." And he's like, "Yeah, we're still working on that. And if you end up having replacement parts installed or whatever, or the system reinstalled, we waive that. That just goes in." So I'm not even, unlike a car, I'm not even paying labor on the diagnostics. It's awesome, and I love small shops for that. It's kind of like small streamers, right? You get somebody who is looking at every comment, going, "Oh yeah, I got one," and trying to reconnect back and make you understand how much they appreciate that feedback, as I'm trying to do here. The same thing goes with small shops, whether it's an auto mechanic or a PC shop or anything else. They want your business and know, if you just tank it, they're out. So it's like, yeah, you're, probably going to be, this kind of range for a new board. And then, I have to find out what the socket is to get the correct replacement, and I have to order it. It's going to be, sorry for all the time. I was like, "Look, man, I waited like 8 months to get this actually in after I'd first talked to you. I'm not freaking out about the time." And I, kind of restated my budget to him and said, "You don't have to check for approval. If it's within a range like this, just do it on your time. Keep me appraised of when stuff is coming through, but don't feel like you have to sit there and twiddle your thumbs waiting for me to get back to you. Just do it." So the good news is he's making great progress. The price through all that hasn't really changed a bit, because everything has been flat so far in diagnostic work. And he knows he's got a full green light to just if it all comes back up, he puts a new board on it, and it pops back to life and is all good, cool. I said, if there's any hesitation though, any struggle, just re-image the whole thing, put a fresh version on. That's probably better, right? Clean and everything. And then we'll be able to start from there, putting on some video editing software and just only the games that I'm going to be playing on it. We go. So, again, I don't even expect another status update until sometime late next week, and then it may be beyond that, depending on what parts are available when they come in and all that kind of stuff. But it's moving forward, and that will be fun news for what I hope are the fans of the videos. If any of you guys are Also on Twitch. I'll start tweeting out when I can get some of that live content going. But again, we're still looking about as far out as it's been since I've been live recording after my vacation, or live recording, putting up episodes as I record them as opposed to scheduling them out into the future. So pretty much since I started playing 117, again forward, all in this. And at that point, gonna have some decisions to make on how and what do I do. I think the first solution may be that I may not play Minecraft immediately for live stream, and that may be good or bad. I don't know, but I really like the pace and the cadence of this world in recording, but I also know I'm the kind of player that I want to. If I move on to a new world and start it, I'm gonna be wanting to play that. So we'll see what all happens. Again, this is way into the future. Right now, I'm just thrilled that you guys are enjoying this content. I hope more people are able to find it. And for that reason and all the others, I want to thank you guys now for once again tuning in. I hope this less exciting. I'm sure that's something cool. I hope that this less intense episode has been equally entertaining. At least it's a little, kind of a brain dump for me. Let you guys know kind of what I look at in the world. We got some more progress. First of all, we got everything repaired and cleaned up from our adventure. You know what I did not do though? Oof. I did. Maybe I still do have a spare one. We'll have to check the consumables chest. I think I had both my totems in there, so I should have 4 back at the base as backups to the backups. But yeah, we'll have to double check that in a future episode. For now, we're back in the 17 chunks. We're gonna hit coal hard again. Maybe just go try to find another cave. Maybe go to that water abandoned mine shaft. I don't know. We've still got glow seeds and all kinds of stuff to find in the mines. More geodes to track down and tag with coordinates, I guess, because we still don't really know. I know I've deleted one and later found out that they're going to grow the crystals, and I guess you want to harvest the crystals as opposed to just breaking all the blocks. So lots and lots and lots of stuff to go. We want to get in preparation for turning back to building, particularly that big tower. I think is our next big project in a building sense. We want to get more coal because I want to jam up those 2 more furnaces. Or 4 more furnaces in the darkroom spawner, get them all loaded up, and have some reserve so that we're not just using up everything. I think we have 1 stack of 64 and a few handfuls of just random pieces of coal back at the base too for torches and the like. So we need a lot more coal, and we should get that in caves or mines or whatever, along with copper and iron and gold and lapis and everything else that we need along the way. So we're going to do some mining, some more adventuring stuff, but with the goal that we want to get back to building. I really, 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 really want to hit a bigger tower and kind of reverse. I think that one we're going to try to do a lot of the red on the sandstone, and maybe we'll do a big dig type project now that we've got a lot more shulkers. Take some terracotta stuff back, all that kind of stuff too. So we'll see where we go, but this has kind of been an in-between reset where we're at. Let me give you guys a little bit of verbal update. So I appreciate you guys sitting through it, and next time we'll be running through caves and whacking stuff with swords and probably having creepers blow up in our faces and all the rest of it. So we'll see you for that one, but until then, you guys take care of yourselves. I am recording this on a Thursday. Hopefully it's the end of our heat wave here in Colorado. Wherever you're at, I hope you're staying cool or enjoying your summer. If you're in the southern hemisphere, I hope you're not too chilly, right? And staying toasty warm. Know that I'm a little jealous, but that's awesome. And Yeah, for everybody else, do take breaks between watching these videos. This is a good one to get up, stretch your feet. We'll reset and kind of re-dig back in here in the next video. But for now, just know I really appreciate you guys and can't wait to see you for the next one. Until then, bye-bye.